Thank you for joining me on another episode on leadership development. Today I'll be speaking about a topic that is a bit advanced in leadership development, and that is the concept of evaluation. Evaluation is a very important concept in leadership development because it determines the outcome of a product, it determines the behavior of the workforce of an organization, it also determines how an organization is perceived by their clients, by their customers, or by their end users. What is evaluation? According to Center for Disease Control and Prevention of the United States, they defined evaluation as a systemic process to understand what a program does and how well it does it. That is, what exactly is a program meant to achieve? What are you looking at? You can also substitute a program in this definition for project to understand what a project is all about and how well is the project being executed, what a staff is doing and how well is the staff doing it. You can evaluate the workforce of an organization, you can evaluate the performance of that workforce, you can evaluate the product of an organization, you can evaluate different aspects of a project as well. So as a leader, depending on how your industry operates, one of the major differences between one organization and another organization is usually how things are evaluated within one organization, which is different from how things are evaluated in another organization. When we see two products in the market that meet the same needs for consumers, but those two products might have different quality, the reasons for the difference in quality is usually based on the levels of evaluation that those products are subjected to. Producing a product in some organizations, they might go through 10 steps to produce that product, while in some organizations, they might find a way to collapse different steps together so that it might not cost them more than 3 or 4 steps. What quality you have eventually is determined by what evaluation was done in the course of the production. So all of these steps depends on what are they trying to evaluate. They can evaluate specification, they can evaluate cost, they can evaluate consumers' interest. Many things can be evaluated when it comes to running a business. So when you see the workforce of an organization appear smarter and different from another organization, it's most likely that the way things are evaluated in that organization is different because their addresses are being evaluated. The timing that workers resume in an organization might be more important to that organization than even what they do. So, which means they pay more attention to consistency and regularity because perhaps they believe that once they are present at the right time, they won't miss anything that is going on in the organization. Therefore, they will grow as time goes on because they will be informed about as many things as possible. While in some organizations, resumption time may not necessarily be the big deal. It could just be that what the staff produces is what is the big deal to them. But the truth is that it is the end product that determines who is smarter, who is working towards achieving the best of results. There are two ways in which evaluation is done. We have the formative evaluation and the summative evaluation. The formative evaluation is the type of evaluation that is done before a production begins or even before you employ your workers. So if it's with respect to producing something, you evaluate all the materials and everything that needs to be evaluated. I did a content on planning, and I think it should be the 6th step or so, or the 7th step where you have to inspect materials before going into production. The formative evaluation is that you look into all the materials that is needed to be used for your production processes and see if they have all met the specifications that they need to meet before you begin production. Formative evaluation is also done from stage to stage of production, which means when you start your production, at each stage of the production, you are evaluating the processes that are followed to achieve the previous stage. If there is a mixing, you ensure that the mixing is done very well. If the next stage is baking, you ensure that the baking it's also done properly. If the next stage is packaging or cooling, you ensure that all of these stages, you evaluate the processes and ensure that the right things are done. This also applies to your workforce. Before you employ your staff, you do what is called formative evaluation by interviewing them. You ask them questions, you try to know who they are, try to know what is their level of experience, and you are trying to see if they can actually solve the problem that you want them to solve for you. So all of those questions that you are asking, all of those interviews, sometimes some organizations even subject you to writing tests. All of these are formative evaluation. They are evaluating the capacity of that employee to do the work that is expected of him or her when they finally get the job. So evaluation happens in different organizations and it determines the kind of output that you have. Formative evaluation is usually measured against a standard. So if, for instance, you want your workers to resume, let's say 8 o'clock, you measure everybody's performance as from 8 o'clock. That's the standard. If anybody is coming by 9 o'clock, that person is not meeting the standard of the 8 o'clock that you have set. So if there is a specification of materials that is supposed to be purchased, that's the standard. Any material that will be purchased has to meet that standard. So if you are making an evaluation, you are going to be evaluating the material that was purchased. Did it meet that standard? Once it meets that standard, then you go to the next stage, you evaluate the next item. From there, you continue to see if you can begin your production. Once you have carried out all of these evaluation processes, then you are good to go to start your production. You can also do this for the workforce. Once you evaluate your staff through different interviews before you employ them, as soon as you employ them, you can also continue to evaluate their performance. The second type of evaluation is the summative evaluation. A summative evaluation is usually done when a project has been completed. Okay, so when I said evaluation is a bit advanced, it's because people wonder what do consultants do on project that makes them earn so much money. And sometimes there are these arguments that why should a consultant be earning so much money? Well, breaking news. The consultant is the chief evaluator of the project. The consultant is responsible to ensure that the project is profitable. The project achieves its desired result. So the consultant usually carry out both formative evaluation and summative evaluation. When the project has been completed, after so many years, you are trying to re-examine if it is worth it to continue to run the project. You can carry out a summative evaluation to see if it is worth it to continue to run that project or to continue to run the program. So summative evaluation usually consists of an investigative analysis of a project or of a program after the project has been completed, after the program has been completed. A summative evaluation can be done about the performance of workers in an organization to see if the workforce is actually justifying the amount of money they take home. So you are giving your workers so much money, but what you are getting is not really commensurate with what you are giving them. You can carry out a summative evaluation to look into what is actually the duty performed by each worker and how does that duty contribute to the overall objectives of the organization. You evaluate their consistency, their output, their performance, how much commitment are they giving to the job. You are evaluating the result that they are producing, what is their own productivity. You evaluate them based on ideas, suggestions, things that they are doing or saying that is helping you to feel confident that yes, you are proud of who they are. This is how you can evaluate your staff, evaluate your workers. It is what you see that makes one organization different from another organization. So organizations evaluate different things. They can evaluate how is the product doing in the market. Is it profitable? Is it not profitable? Can we continue to run this project? Can we keep this number of staff? Are they justifying the pay they receive? All of these are evaluation processes. And if you're an artisan, if you're a tailor, for instance, you can evaluate the materials that you buy in the market. What is the quality? What is the durability? All those stuff that you do, you evaluate them. You look into them to see will they meet what your client desire. So formative evaluation is done before your project begins and even while your project is running. And at the end of it, you can carry out a summative evaluation. Thank you very much. Until I come your way next time, always remember that we rise by helping others. Thank you.